Today. Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Riles Gaines critiquing two biological men for winning an Illinois women's cycling championship. Now, this is actually perhaps a good example of you not wanting to have that feature of having the picture-in-picture software. If you do have suggestions, I'd appreciate it because I do want to make the show better and better, and I want to look at some production technology that will allow me to do that so I don't have to do it post-production. So if you have suggestions, let me know in the comments, but this is perhaps a good instance of what you don't want to see. You see two very biological men standing on the little trio podium. We have first, second, third place. And they have one biological woman. I guess she's kind of smiling. Or grimacing. Nevertheless, she has her hand on the individual in the middle, who would be the biological man, and then she's waving as well. Which, again, one of those instances where you don't want to say women are asking for it, but they are accepting this to happen more and more in their social circles and in these types of sporting athletic events. If all the women who are against it were to boycott it today, the whole industry of the sporting community for women's sports would halt overnight. Now, granted, 18 of their fans would be detrimentally sad. I mean, Lord knows how many WNBA games do people watch a year. I think the average would be .01. The average would be quite low, which is why they're paid less. It's just a matter of volume of sales and just sales in general and how many advertisers want to advertise to go on there. Now, Riley specifically says, quote, two men take first and second at the Illinois State Cyclocross Championships yesterday. At U.S. Cycling has two categories for men and none for women. Any woman who concedes and doesn't compete, I will still personally pay them for the prize money they're missing out on. Stop participating in this farce, unquote. And then based on what she's saying, so technically, I guess the U.S. cycling does have categories for men and women, but if they allow biological men to compete in women, they basically just have, one category. I can't see the business justification to have two separate events now that you're allowing people to do both. I mean, the plus side, WNBA might actually be interesting to watch when you have biological men in it. That's perhaps the silver lining of this whole fascinating cultural phenomenon, though in all realistic, I do believe that people are starting to push back on this. They're starting to see the detrimental cultural decay and detrimental opportunities taken away from biological women who are losing out on scholarships, prize money, for all these things that they're fighting for when biological men have an inherited big advantage. Now, this went pretty viral on Twitter. It got 4 million views a couple days ago and 31,000 likes. Now, some of the top comments, someone by name, or actually no, one of the first top comments is from Riley herself. She says, quote, at I Heart Bikes does a phenomenal job of always reporting on this issue in cycling. It's rampant. I recommend following this page so you don't believe the lie that, quote, it's not really happening, unquote. That got 1.8 thousand likes. Molly Pitcher says, quote, they are nothing but a bunch of cheaters who suck in their own division. And this person has a trans flag, but the type on it is trans rights are male privileges, unquote. That got 1.6 thousand likes. Let's see here. USMC Lady Vet says, quote, what I don't understand about today's women is why they allow this people. Grammar and punctuation be damned. I'll read it exactly how it is, no matter how silly it sounds. Granted, it also might be my lack of enunciation, to be sure. However, if you click the subscribe button, it may very well assist with my enunciation and decreasing my rate of speech. I'm not a doctor, however, it very well could be the cure. Just saying, doesn't hurt to give it a try. Now, USMC Lady Vet again says, quote, what I don't understand about today's women is why they allow this. People may make fun of us for being older women, but I can assure you, when I was your age, Riley, none of my friends or I would have tolerated this shit. We would have refused to participate. Why are women today so afraid to stand up for themselves other than you, unquote? Got 202 likes. Well, I think, like many topics, women are more open to them. and much more accommodating, kind of based on their very nature. I think that's a kind of general rule that a lot of psychologists have brought up in the past, and is also one of those instances when you look at college campuses, the people who are on the very far left, more often than not, they're women. So a lot of them believe in these types of sporting mixing, or whatever you want to call this phenomenon, where you have biological men competing in women's sports. And a lot of them are just worried they'll be culturally canceled. They'll be out of a job. They'll never be able to get a job again. I mean, when Riles Gaines was interviewed a couple years ago, when you had this whole fiasco when you had a biological male who was like 400th in his division, then go to the women's division, so he became number one. Well, the women on the team, they didn't speak out because they were afraid they'd lose their scholarships. They'd be kicked off the team for being intolerant. So it's one of those things where a lot of them are scared. Now, going back to the comments section, Dr. Vox Anculi says, quote, soon there will be no actual women left standing, unquote, getting 374 likes. Which, I'm actually shocked. How did a male not win third place as well? Were there only two biological men? And those are the ones who got first and second? If there was a third biological man and he didn't get third place, that is pretty pathetic to say the least. Keep going to the comments section. We have someone by the name of Derek Bayer says, quote, that woman in third shouldn't have competed, but even if she did, she shouldn't be standing there smiling, unquote, getting 523 likes. Liberal Reject says, quote, the girl on the left is as big as a problem as the two guys on the right. Stop legitimizing this crap. Women have to lead in saving y'all's sports, unquote, getting 859 likes. Heidi001 says, quote, can you imagine beating women at a strength-based sport and actually being proud? Losers, unquote. It got 1.1 thousand likes. Scrolling through here. Disco Mephisto says, quote, the future we're heading for is one in which no women are playing in women's sports, unquote, getting 378 likes. Chess, who does get an A+ for marketing, they have a profile picture of a actual chess board. Now, this person by the name of Chess says, quote, yep, 2 men's categories. 1, men with long hair and makeup. 2, men without long hair and makeup, unquote. We got 114 likes. Emil Vilcossi says, quote, there is only one winner here. The other 2 are frauds, unquote, getting 53 likes. So needless to say, this is perhaps one of the most positive response ratios ever in terms of a tweet. I'm not seeing, let's see here. Really not seeing a single contrarian statement yet in terms of people are disagreeing with Riley with her original statement. Let's see here. Yeah, this is overwhelmingly positive. Even as I scroll down more and more and more, they're all overwhelmingly supportive of Riles Gaines. So it'll be interesting to see, when will a cultural shift happen in the United States where female athletes just refuse to compete? Will there be a moment where the American public shift the perception, or they just shift their opinion, so that they won't pay, or I guess in this case, it's probably a free event. They don't actually pay to go view this sporting activity. But is an instance where if no one watches the sports, no one will, the advertisers aren't going to advertise there because the advertisements aren't worth anything. So for the bigger sports, I think the issue will be women's sports in general, they're not worth a lot really fiscally at all. If you look at how much it costs to advertise for a female sport because of the lower viewership in general, it's a fraction of what it is to actually advertise on a male professional athletic sport. So it'll be interesting to see. These female sports are subsidized by male sports, especially on the collegiate level. They are in no way fiscally attractive or positive in any way. And it'll be interesting to see, because there's really no financial disinsurance, but there's really no, for financially speaking, it doesn't matter if you try to boycott this event, it really doesn't make a difference because people don't really watch them in general. And all these female sports are subsidized, so I don't know how you could actually shift the cultural norm to a point where biological men would not be allowed to compete in them. because again, these are subsidized sports. Let me know in the comments what your ideas are. But if this happens in the WNBA, and I'm actually surprised it's not already, and everyone said, okay, we're going to boycott the WNBA. Well, all 18 of their fans aren't going to be affected. Maybe 3, maybe 4 fans would protest, but again, it's an instance where I'm not sure how there will be a culture shift in this case. It'll be interesting to see, but let me know in the comments, what do you think will happen if someone tries to protest these types of activities? They say, we're not going to tune in anymore. Will it just take people writing letters of concern, or because they're just boycotting? I don't think it's going to be enough. I think you're going to have to come up with a petition, create an alternative sport category, privatize some of these sports with a different league, perhaps, where you can actually control the rules. It'll be interesting to see what the future for female sports is, but if I was looking at the Magic 8 Ball, I would say the outlook is not so good. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of December. So if you click that button, then I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment and liking is a great way to let me know if I'm doing great on these videos, and leave feedback and let me know how I could actually improve with specific instances. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.